sun wakes up in a golden sprawl, over fields of wheat so proud, so tall. Morning whispers, rivers hum their tune, a land where hearts can bloom. The mountains stand like ancient friends, the kind of peace that never ends. Oh, Twin Falls delight, where the skies shine bright, a rocky mountain high, a starry night, friendly faces, open doors, a place to dream, a place that's yours. Main streets alive, laughter fills the air, dreams right on the breeze without a care. The Snake River dances under the light, a sight that takes your soul to flight. Here roots grow deep and spirits soar, a little heaven forevermore. Twin Falls delight, where the skies shine bright, a rocky mountain high, a starry night, friendly faces, open doors, a place to dream, a place that's yours. Oh, Twin Falls delight, where the skies shine bright, a rocky mountain high, a starry night, friendly faces, open doors, a place to dream, a place that's yours.
Stupid people should wear signs, neon bright, so we can find a way to dodge their tangled mess, avoid their chaos more, say less. Wear a sign, wear a sign, save me from your twisted line. Politicians dance and spin, blatant lies with a practiced grin. Blame the moon, blame the stars, blame the traffic or faulty cars. You think they're 6, not 35, playing games to stay. Celebrities with tails so tall,
Thursday, October 9th, 2025, from the studio live in central Pennsylvania, folks. Wow, the temperature has dropped to 41 degrees Fahrenheit outside, just close to freezing. Another 9 degrees, 10 degrees, and we're at the freezing level. You want to cover up your flowers out there tonight, your buds, if you're worried about them being hit by the frost. And it is heaven on earth. Oh my goodness, I had trousers on because I was at the veterans meeting tonight, but I put my shorts on now. I had to step outside, open the front door, take in the cool air of the fall season. Yes, it's heaven on earth, ladies and gentlemen. Best time of the year. The leaves change colors. The weather changes. It's sweater weather. It's football season. It is heaven on earth. You South Africans would be freezing your butts off right about now. Kathy, thank you. Wear a sign. I thought it was pretty good too. So tonight, folks, I want to recall my trip to South Africa recently, but after I say hello to those who are in the chat, Kratos, welcome to you. Work People, Christopher Meyer, Dylan Combrick, and OG Ben Skev. Ben Skev, you were around for a long time too. Not quite an OG, I don't think, but you've been around for a long time, but you've been missing of late. Welcome back. Expat Family Joubert, Varushka is here. Francis Ruiz, Dogzilla is back from Seattle. And then we've got Angelique, Karen Lang, D. Barham, George, Mandy van Rooyen, Phoenix. Fonz is here. Hey, Fonz. Hey. Yeah, I'm an actor. Well, what's going to happen with the Sharks this weekend? Hopefully they do better than last weekend. Cam 5, welcome to you. Tony Nodier, welcome. Dennis Bellingham, Loretta, Gideon Maloney, Caroline, Kathy Price, Crazarta. Okay, welcome. Willy Kotsia, excuse me, Husky 7, Andre Mostart, Johan Fontonda, that's a cool name, sounds very official, Fontonda. Yes, CB's here, another OG, AJ Quinn, been around for quite a while too. Del Marie Mostart, Gina Mullman. You know, people come and go, folks. They really do. People come and go, they leave channels, you don't see them again for years. They glom on, they brief, and then they just disappear. That's unfortunate. If we had all the people that were so dedicated to the channel who started, who are still living, we'd have 10,000 people per live stream, but a lot of people come and go, and that's fine. People have lives. They find other things to do. Dawn Janssen van Rensburg, welcome to you. Emerencia Quinn. Jarethra Haman, welcome to you. Carlos Freight is back. Karen Graham. Arctic, what's going on, Arctic? You in the air tonight? Petrus van der Linde, welcome to you. Fluffy Navel, isn't that a drink? Leilu Dallas, ladies and gentlemen, Leilu Dallas, Multipass. And who else? I think Irene. I didn't see Irene there. The chat just jumped on me. It does that sometimes. So apologies for missing people if I do. Irene, okay. Nia Harridge, welcome to you. Courtney's here, in from the Mountain States. How's it going? Oh, they're getting their comeuppance because they're criminals. It's not revenge by Donald Trump. These people committed crimes. George B., welcome to you. Philip Holtz, George Steinberg, in from Heckport. How you doing, George? Sloth Puppy and OG, Odin's Vikings, Courtney McBride. By the way, George has been in a few of my meet and greets, if I remember correctly. Jeremy D. in from Indonesia, Gideon Maloney, welcome to Narina. Wolf the Blind Biker is here, Jean Spence. Jacques B. Afrikaner. That's a cool name. Jacques B. Good. Jacques B. Afrikaner. Saintmaster 99. Utopi's back. Been around for ages too. Yves Lombard. Saintmaster 99. Rudolph Skeppers. Cher, Linda Clarkson, Sean Vellechamot, and Sue. All right, I think I've caught up with that. So, folks, before we talk about Letitia James being indicted for mortgage fraud, seems to be catching a lot of these reprobates. While in South Africa, my most recent trip, I went down to Stanford, which I thought was in California. Apparently, it's in the Western Cape along the Whale Coast. And I stayed overnight at a place, nice little room. It was really lovely, and it didn't cost me anything. Thank you so much for that, Nick, who provided for me. But for those of you who know, I've completed a beekeeping course and technically am a qualified beekeeper, an apiist. No, that has nothing to do with simians. It has to do with bees. And I'm a huge fan of bees, always been a fan of bees. Honeybees, that is, not wasp and yellow jackets and bumblebees, but honeybees, which are endangered the world over. European honeybees and African honeybees, not quite so endangered because they're nasty little bastards, but I still love them. I went out to a place called Honeybee Heroes, where you sponsor hives and they raise money and they produce honey, and this is at Honeybee Heroes. Now, I did an interview out there, and I did some video footage, and I've sent that to a producer, but the producer seems to be backed up. They've had it since May, June, and haven't done anything with it yet. It's a little distressing and unfortunate. I'm going to have to pull that footage back, not from them, but go ahead and start editing myself with this content up, because I've been sitting on this since June. Honeybee Heroes in the Western Cape. Lovely spot there. You should check it out, folks. Anyway, yeah, Letitia James should be indicted for much more than mortgage fraud. You are correct. While I went to Uppington, I got a ticket for Comfort Stories on the 8th of May. Vena Tutoy myself. And there's a katki. I got a katki here. So, little memento of the trip. Now, this is a very lovely gift that was made for me. This is awesome. Understanding, Commitment, and Resilience. Speaking Truth for Freedom. Journalist Award, Colonel Chris Wyatt. This is a lovely card. This is unbelievable. This was, I mean, I'm touched by this. I'm touched by a lot of things, man. I'm a softie. I didn't feel like a softie tonight. I had to have a come to Jesus conversation with a couple of people, unfortunately. But, yeah, this is lovely. Handmade with love. And it is indeed handmade with love. Check that out. That's a card. And it's raised. There's a picture of me in my fatigues. Speaking truth for freedom. Isn't that cool? Isn't that really cool? I'm not sure I like the reading glasses, but I've got a pair on now, so I guess I can't complain. But how cool is that? Journalist Award. That is so kind. So kind. Thank you so much for that. And I cherish these things. I haven't shown this previously because it was in an envelope and I didn't want to damage it, and I was short on time when I was here previously. But there you go, folks. It's so cool. So cool. Really like that. Thank you so much for that. This is something I actually cherish. It's a shame it was torn, but when she ripped it out of her notebook. So, of course, I went to Durban, and at the airport in Durban, I picked up a new friend. I couldn't resist, even though there was nowhere to put him on the flight. I had to carry him on the flight. Pikachu! Got him for like 400 Rand. Ooh, yeah, Pikachu. I think it's 350 or something like that. So I got my big Pikachu. So one of my viewers' daughters decided to draw my Pikachu. And it's really cool. So she drew my Pikachu, and she's very talented for such a young lady. Check this out. I've shown this before. That is so cool. And so she gave it to, unfortunately, she ripped it out of her book to give it to me in a tour, so I have to be very careful with it. But I cherish gifts like this. It's very kind. So here's the other side. She drew an American flag, minus the stars. Oh, no, she put the stars on there. They just don't show up because they were done in pencil. But, yeah, you can see the stars there on that screen. But there, she drew these Pikachu, too. How cool is that? Whoop! Wat is whoop? While I was there, I interviewed Dr. Corne Mulder at Parliament at the Cape of Good Hope building on April 22nd. And there's my pass. Check it out. Visitor to Parliament. I visited South Africa's Parliament, the Good Hope building. How cool is that? Nice little mementos. I keep things like this. So here's another one. Lovely thing. I love Pikachu too, Irene. Thanks a million. This was, please, would you read these to the persons? It's a humble request and not a demand. Okay. Thank you for the enjoyable content. Your work is admirable. Your kindness left an impression at Seattle Monte Casino. Yaku. Thank you so much for that, Yaku. And he had a little something in here for me to give to someone else, whom I've not seen since then, so it's been impossible for me to give it to him. I can only relay it. So thank you for that. It's very kind of you. Very much appreciate that. I have a few things in here because people gave gifts. Thank you. What does this one say? Okay. Chris, Colonel, thank you for all that you do for us here in South Africa. Thank you for being our voice. You are loved by many South Africans. You give us hope and clarity on the journey that awaits. Take care of yourself, Valerie and Franz von Wyk. So thank you so much for that lovely card. It's really nice. Some people gave me like wine and things like that. I leave the wine in South Africa and consume it there. What's this one? Let me see. Thank you for all your support of South Africa. Cadre what's that? Gert and Louisa Janssen van Rensburg. Thank you for that card. That came with a gift. And here's another one that came with a gift. Chris, with gratitude. Harry and Hanalise. Swanepoel. Thank you for that. Dear Colonel, because you are also Boer from Yana. Also a Boer. That's very nice. Very nice. All right. So those are some of the gifts. I've got a few more here. I'm cooking this this hoodie, folks. I'm going to have to take it off. It's maybe 41 degrees outside, and it's 43. It went up. That must be cloud cover. It raised temperature, but it's not 41 in my house. Hang on, Pikachu. Wear a sign. Wear a sign. What happened to the chat, man? I haven't seen any chat come up for several minutes. It just died. Did y'all quit chatting? What's going on? All right, so that, and then these are really cool. People can be very sweet and wonderful. So this was nice. Check this one out. This is drawn by one of my viewers. No, Arctic didn't draw this. This is one of my viewers, one of the kids. On the back, it says, thank you, Colonel Chris Wyatt, for all you do. The DeFreitas family. Very sweet. Lovely stuff, folks. I cherish that stuff. I do. If you give me a gift, folks, I don't take it for granted. I don't. And I spend a lot of money to bring some of these gifts back. I mean, every time I have to buy a second suitcase, and it's usually full of gifts and maybe a few things I purchased. Oh, Arctic only draws blondes. Certificate of Appreciation proudly presented to Colonel Chris Wyatt. This certificate certifies that you survived your trip to South Africa in 2025. Big congratulations on that great achievement. Signed, the South African minorities. That's pretty cool. Thank you for that. Some of these I didn't get to recognize people at the events where they hand them out to me because time was so short, and I apologize for that. People kept trying to come up and give me gifts, and it's very kind of them, but we had to get the event underway, so. Certificate of Completion. This certificate is proudly presented to all South Africans for successful completion of 2 months course in nerves and stress handling, how to menya for 80 minutes, how to never give up, and how to be stronger together. Springboks presented to the Rugby World Cup facilitator. This is cute. Someone gave this to me because I know I'm a Springbok fan. So that's just a few of the many items that generous people gave me on my most recent trip to South Africa. I can tell you, can rest assured that the gifts are not taken for granted. They're not ignored, no matter how small you think the gift might be. I do appreciate it. I do cherish it. And my apologies if it doesn't come across that way. It's certainly not my intent or my style to ignore people, but I realize that sometimes we don't always thank people as quickly as we should. So there you go. There you go. Sit back there, buddy. Pikachu. All right. Bert the Bison's going to get angry. He's been ignored. Irene says, that's good. We just in awe with your gifts and how you're grateful for everything. Yeah, expat, I am. Look, nobody owes me anything in this life. Well, except the U.S. government. They owe me a retirement check as long as I draw breath. But no one owes me anything beyond that. We make our way in this life. We make our choices. We make our decisions. And hopefully we treat other people well. That isn't always the case. We all make mistakes. But I am truly grateful for the life experience I've had. And as I told my mother on her deathbed in hospice, thank you for my life. I don't care what my mother did or didn't do in her life. Ultimately, if she hadn't been knocking boots that night, a few years back, I wouldn't be here. And whenever this ride ends, in 40 or 50 years, it's been an amazing journey thus far. You know, I just realized I look a lot like Dick Van Dyke now with this beard. He's almost 100 and he's got a beard like this. I have met truly amazing people along the way. I've met some jerk-offs, some assholes, some real mean and horrible people, and I've dealt with some of the worst traumas in life, things that people should never see or experience. But I've seen such goodness and greatness in people all over the world. Americans, Germans, Austrians, Swiss, Brits, South Africans, Botswana. It's been an amazing ride, and it's what keeps me going. It really does, especially when a bunch of people act like fools. It really keeps us going. Most people are wonderful people, the world over, regardless of their ethnicity or background. Most people are wonderful people. And they want just a few things: peace and security, a chance to worship in the fashion they believed in, to raise their progeny, to be successful, and to enjoy life and cherish it. Most people are that way. Good day, David van Reenen. Buster says, my son calls you Santa. Oh, I get that a lot. I was called Père Noël all over France in the Rugby World Cup. My beard was a little bit longer then. And there'd be little kids on the street, Père Noël, which is Father Christmas. Yeah. At least that was the most important, beautiful words you gave your mom, Colonel. So true. Yeah, Veroshka, it was true. Yeah, my mom had a tear. At least I believe that was the case. My sister said. Maybe I'm remembering it just, rather dressed up, but that's my recollection. Anyway, and it was within the hour before she passed away. At 75, that's too young, folks. That's too young. Too young. But my mother smoked like a chimney. She just couldn't stop. She just never did. Yep, so. Nobody owes any of us anything. It's just, sorry, some are so entitled. Life is awesome. We should be grateful like you are. That's why we love and enjoy listening to you. Well, thank you, Expat Family Joubert. Look, there's things that irritate us. We get angry, get upset. Tonight, I dealt with some disciplinary issues at the Veterans Organization that were unseemly, that I didn't want to deal with. And I had to make difficult decisions for people. But I thought we were fair and generous, and that's all you can be. Your kids don't call me the angry, foul-mouthed Santa. Your kids don't even watch my show, Arctic. Stop lying. Anyway, your wife won't let those kids watch them. Anyway. So good news. Received our interview dates for next week. Waited 108 days for it, so we're great. Well, there you go, Sandra. We were just talking about, I'm waiting patiently. I hope I get my call. Didn't you just say that yesterday, or am I remembering poorly? Yeah, 108 days. It happens, folks. Just, you gotta have faith in the system, or at least be patient. You don't have to have faith in the system, but if you have it, then maybe it'll pay off for you. It's hard hearing constant criticism of our decaying country. We're not used to the way Americans speak so freely, even harshly. It can feel personal, even if it's not meant to. Well, Kathy, the problem is that South Africans have pretended that things are fine for 15 years as the country decayed around them. Most South Africans looked the other way as the country disappeared into the hands of gangsters, criminal syndicates, crooked politicians, thieves, rapists, murderers. And before they knew it, they woke up and they were in a national nightmare. Sometimes it's necessary to shake people, to wake them out of their slumber, to let them know what's going on. America needed it. We watched as our country was sold down the river and given to illegal aliens and given to evil politicians who believe in murdering a child in the 9th month of pregnancy, given to people who believe that it's okay to teach 6-year-olds about how to rim someone else and perform fellatio and cunnilingus, and watch drag queens who are immoral. Our country was taken from us while people sat around. I have an excuse. I wasn't here. By the time I came back to America in 2015, it was too late. So I did the right thing and voted for Trump. But then the evil doers in the media, in government, undermined the Trump administration with fake, cooked up Russia collusion narratives, illegal spying, violating the FISA court, contorting and misusing the Federal Bureau of Intelligence, the Attorney General, and the U.S. intelligence community, with the willing participation of members of the Biden regime and those in the intelligence community, including former senior leaders like Clapper and Brennan, an avowed communist. Who in their right mind would appoint an avowed communist to be the director of the Central Intelligence Agency? That's what Barack Hussein Obama did. Did you know Brennan was a communist? He voted for the communists in his youth. Yet that man became the director of the CIA. America needed to be woken up. Trump woke America up. And they slandered and destroyed him. And the weak-minded and the weak-willed listened to that garbage and believed the nonsense about Trump that wasn't true. He's not a perfect man. He's got lots of problems. Not to mention his ego is wider than the Nile River or the Grand Canyon. But sometimes that's needed. And so, like idiots, they didn't vote for him the next time. They abandoned him. They believed the lies about him and the cooked-up fraudulent lawsuits. And we got a wake-up warning. When Joe Biden squandered 2 decades of efforts to save the people of Afghanistan, not saying we should have been there, but that's what it was. We were there. Billions of dollars spent, $100 billion on weapons alone. Reconstruction, schools for girls, all pissed down the drain because of the collaborationist, treasonous bastard in chief, Joseph Robinette Biden, the demented lunatic who led this country. He didn't lead anything. Couldn't lead a kindergarten creche. It was a wake-up call. And Donald Trump returned to the White House. And every single day since then, he has kept them off balance. And he has challenged the very falsehoods that have caused the harm in our country, such as birthright citizenship for illegal aliens. No such thing. Not guaranteed in the Constitution. A misinterpretation. He's challenged it. The lies that America can't handle immigration. We can handle immigration just fine. Ask the 800,000 people naturalized every year who become Americans in the most generous country in the world. South Africa needed a wake-up call. It needed to be shaken out of its stupor. When I finally found a driver, we would have to drive through the night to meet you. It wasn't guaranteed that we would make it in time. Regret it. Husky, I'm sorry that. I'm sorry I missed that. You wanted to meet me. I'm sorry that we didn't meet. Perhaps the next time. Speaking of bees, we have a chap this in the northeastern Cape, goes to farms, harvests beehives, bottle the honey, nectar honey. Oh, okay, cool. Del Marie Mostart, welcome to you. Sent you a mail last night at All About. I'm so grateful for you, says Dennis LaRue. Okay, Dennis. I was in that account early today, and I didn't see anything. I may have missed it, so I get a lot of messages. Let me see. This is a slow day. No, it wasn't a slow day. You sent it last night. Okay, who's telling me this again? Dennis LaRue. Did you send it under that name? Or did you? No, I found it. Found it. Well, it wasn't last night. It was 2:49 today, this afternoon. Oh, it's last night for you. Sorry. It's today for me still. It's still Thursday. Okay. If you're having a Teams meeting, it's legit. Most likely, okay? Oh, someone landed. Huh. Okay. All right, so I've received a message from someone who arrived 3 weeks ago. Thank you for sharing that. I'm sure you've been busy and didn't have a chance to tell me that. Thank you. Also, not necessarily I'm the first person you should get a hold of. All right, so sorry about that. Another person arrived in Iowa, so I can't keep up with all the arrivals from South Africa. Well, there are none now because of the shutdown, but that person shares some things that the Big Beautiful Bill took a few things out of that take place in 2025 regarding Medicaid and SNAP, and that's not such great news. Love homemade cards, special. Most of mine are Vivian. So nice to give a notebook. Nice. So nice. Okay, great gifts. Yeah, those are great gifts, Del Marie. Good day from the Lowveld. Okay, thank you, JJ Pretorius. Oh, I should tell SARS about those? Yeah. That's not income. It's not income in kind. Home Depot gave me a certificate for best dad jokes. It's funny. Most people are good. Okay, I get that. Okay. That was the most beautiful words that you gave your mom. Thank you, Veroshka. Nobody. Okay. Good news received. Okay, I already got all that. Got to TCOY as you are doing one incredible job for South Africa. I'm not sure what that means. Thank you, Del Marie. Small things that count. When I finally found a driver, okay, that's where I was at. My wife says you are like a knicker ball, hard on the outside but sweet on the inside. You got our first mail, so excited. Cool. Immune to it all like your frogs in the pot. That's right. The pot boils over. Our government did us more harm on different levels we do not even realize. True. No one did try to tell the world but got rejected all the time. No, Chris Art, some people did try to tell the world, but most South Africans lived in a fantasy world. Just like many white South Africans lived in a fantasy world during apartheid. Many white South Africans completely oblivious to what was happening around them. True story. Folks, if you actually map the physical space where people go, even me, a world traveler, I've been everywhere. But if you look at where I've traveled, I haven't traveled this far inland from the road or this far inland from the road, except in certain places. I'm restricted to the road, and I see this town and this village and this. So much of the world we never see. So much of the world we never see. Think about it. Many people have a very small world. They know their town, their village, their farm, their shopping centers, and they move in those spaces. They might occasionally take a vacation somewhere, but they really don't know what's going on around them oftentimes. We had white guilt until we woke up. Phoenix, some people did. Waiting patiently, our next step will be interviewing Pretoria. Waiting patiently. Meantime, watch your channel. Stay sane for some uplifting. You're very welcome. I hope I can uplift. I can't always do it. The thing that bugs me most in today's kids watching YouTube, how to roast people. They think it's funny, not seeing it hurts people. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Agree with that statement, Colonel. Still, so many in South Africa do not listen to news or politics and walk around oblivious to all the nasty things. Sad fact. It's true, Del Marie. Yeah, please hit the like button. Only 83 likes, 127 people currently here. Okay, we actually had a bigger audience, and they disappeared. Why did they leave? We dropped from 135 to 170. Oh, well, that's not that far down. Okay. If or when I come to say I'm leaving a space for Amarula in my bag. No, that's kind of utopia. Don't do that. Use every kilo that you've got to bring what matters to you. If you come here, don't do that. There's no reason for people to bring gifts. It's very kind of you, but no reason. The only person that's obligatory to bring something is Arctic. He owes me 40 kgs of kudu biltong. What rugby games? I'm doing them all, brother. I'm doing them all. Tomorrow the Stormers are playing. I have to look and see. I made let's see what I got here. Rather than look up the schedule, I'll just go look at the images I made. So, I already made them. I just have been too busy to post them. Today I tried to call about my appointment for my hip, and then I realized later on I actually had an appointment later on. But I did find some valuable information. So, there's where I'm going. Interview. Come on. Where are you at? Come on. There they are. Rugby broadcast. Okay. Oh, kiwi. All right. So. Oh, wait. I didn't save them yet. Son of a gun. Okay. Well, that was silly. I've made them, but I haven't saved them. Or did I make them? Maybe I'm confused. All right. Well, maybe I'm not that far. Let's just go get the schedule here. So I'm doing all the URC games this weekend. There's no test match to watch. So here we go. The Scarlets are hosting the Stormers, 2:45 my time. That means 8:45 South Africa time. So it's 9 o'clock essentially. I'll be covering that. Okay, and then the Lions are on at 10 on Saturday. That's 4 p.m. South Africa time. Let me get the rest of them. Okay, so 4, 5, 6. There's 10. Okay, so only game tomorrow I'll be covering. I won't be doing the Munster Edinburgh game. It's the same time. That's at Thomond Park, same time as the Scarlet Stormers game. Then Benetton versus Lions. That's the first game on Saturday at 4 p.m. South Africa time, and after that it's Leinster versus the Sharks. That's at 12:30 my time, 6:30 South Africa time. Ulster versus the Bulls is at 3 p.m., 9 o'clock South Africa time. So there you go. And there's no games on Sunday. So that's the games I'm covering. The 16th, that's weird. Is that really on the 16th? I think 16th is a Thursday. I have a Thursday game, Connacht versus the Bulls. That's interesting, which is good because on Friday, actually got a medical appointment next week on Friday. So no game to interfere with it. That's pretty wild. I'm surprised the Bulls are playing on a Thursday. That's an odd thing. Okay, stop speaking to a lot of South Africans about the state of affairs. They simply say they don't want to hear anything negative. Well, negative will find you. So watch some interviews with Johan Allers. It's the real fear that we have to contend with here, not knowing who is going to be next. Counterpoint. You don't always need to get your knickers in a knot about stuff that happens outside your sphere. 40 kgs. Yes, you are my biltong mule. Unfortunately, you're not flying over in private jets. Otherwise, it'd be easy. The private jets are once you get here, so I don't think you're going to actually do that. Oh, take care of yourself. Thank you. This must be what the kids say. Narita, I'm not. I'm refusing to surrender the original factory equipment. There are other ways to deal with this. At least I believe so. So I'll go for my appointment and a consultation. And I'm also going to get the x-rays that they took for that Let's Place, took the x-rays and the medical records so I can take it to sports medicine and have them evaluate me. So I'm going to an osteopath. Then a week later, I'm going to sports medicine. and I'm going to shop around for opinions. You're not just ripping stuff out of my body for the hell of it. So earlier, one of our co-veterans there from the veterans thing, we were talking about the stuff, and he was trying like, oh, it's nothing, because he's had both of his hip joints replaced. It's a piece of cake. They put you out, they put it in. It's no big deal. I would go with a walker for 3 or 4 days, and then I was fine after that. Okay, sounds good. Then he starts talking about a story about a guy who lives in the town with him. He said, yeah, he woke up when they were banging into his femur. They were banging in with a hammer into his femur, and he woke up. No, homie, don't play that. No, homie, don't play that. Amarula on Amazon? Really? Is it on Amazon? No, you're not allowed to think. But technically, Tony, you're not allowed to bring biltong. You're not allowed to. You're not supposed to bring that in. It's an agricultural thing. That said, it has happened. So Amazon, you can get Amarula on Amazon. I had no idea. I didn't even think to look there. I can get it locally. Why would I go there? Amarula liqueur cream. $19. Well, that's actually about what it cost here. Yeah. So they got a vanilla flavor. I didn't know that. They brought me. Oh, that's Amaretti. That's not Amarula. That's Amaretti. No wonder it doesn't look right. No, there's no Amarula here. Nope. It shows it as a search item, but it doesn't bring it up. I can buy Amarula in the local liquor shop. Why would I want to buy it on Amazon? And I'll tell you, folks, Prime was lame. The Prime days were lame. I didn't buy anything. I bought a couple pre-Prime, but it was lame. Didn't do anything for me. Nothing there. Yep, didn't do anything for me. Bargains weren't that great. They really weren't. Anyway, crazy growing up in the 70s and 80s. We used to go to float building concerts at the university, and the apartheid police would come and break up peaceful, set their dogs on us. Well, that sucks. I think Islam and its subjects fear to challenge and question its hold in the Middle East. Well, that's probably true. See, I promised him a new hip just after the slow puncture gets juju. I lived in Hillbrow in the 80s. It was a fantastic place. Yeah, nonstop partying. I'll bet it was Star Chaser. Caught a South Africa on the Canadian border with 50 kgs of biltong. I'm romantic and love watching white Christmas movies. Oh, well, here you've got the Family Channel or something like that it's called. They have Christmas in July. They play Christmas movies all day long in July. It's crazy. And then, of course, Christmas season, they have the same thing. And then you've got Hallmark, which a lot of people have banned because it's so woke. Prime Day was a non-event. It was, Arctic, because their selection was lame. There's nothing great. Black Friday. Yeah, well, I'm not in a rush to buy things. I'm just looking to see if there's anything I need. I could get at a good deal. All right, guys, so I fixed the TPM on my computer, but then it wants to tell me I'm not I can't get it for another reason. Let me look it up here real quick. So I forget what the reason was, but it says I can't install Windows 11. It also didn't offer it to me for free, so I'm not exactly in a hurry to get it. There it is, settings, okay? Settings, updates, and security. Windows... where is the Windows 11? It was telling me how to check for upgrade now. Okay. Nothing happened. Oh, there it is. It just takes me back there. Windows support ends. I need to know. It showed me yesterday whether I could do it. Windows update. There's nothing here. That's my OS. That doesn't help me. Thank you for all your truth and honesty. Thank you, Yuri Smith. Appreciate that. There's nothing here. It doesn't let me... Ugh, stupid thing. Windows support ends. I know that, but I'm trying to see... Anyway, that's annoying. It did tell me about it. Amazed me you have a passion for so many things. I do, Rena. Computers, gaming, agriculture, sports, hockey, rugby, history, politics, language, culture. Yeah, I just find life fascinating. Trump wants to ban many imports from China if talks fail on soybeans. Well, good for him. I'm pissed off the Chinese. I think he should do it. Advanced options. It's not letting me see. Check for updates. Resume updates. Let me see if it'll tell me. It's just kind of annoying because it showed me yesterday. It would show me why I can't do it. There's yet another setting that has to be changed. Now it's not even telling me. So now it's telling me I can download it. Windows version 11 is ready and it's free. Download and install. What the hell? It told me I couldn't install it. Now it's telling me to download it. I'll wait till we're done tonight, guys. I'm not making this up, man. Here, look at this. Windows Update. Let me show you. It says I can install it. I wish they make their mind up. So there you go. See? Windows 11 version 24H2 is ready and it's free. Get the latest version of Windows. Download and install. Look at that. Richelieu and Fatty Biltong fixed everything. Greases and joints. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. It's especially amongst family that I notice that groceries, electricity, etc. is getting out of reach of people. They still choose to not discuss it or start making provisions. Yep. Computer's fascinating, as you said. No, computer's always been fascinating. Utopia, I love it. Yeah, but Utopia, you're one of the people that gave me advice on that. I mean, now it's telling me I can update it. Look at that. All right, I'm going to give it a shot because it might be a one-off and not get another chance to do it. So, wow. Sometimes a bit of rest helps us see things different. The world may or may not be here. Life carries on. Kathy, that's right. So tonight we were talking, and one of the questions was, can a woman who she and her husband were banned for life from her VFW for their conduct and getting in trouble many years ago? And they brought up tonight, we have Farmers Fair coming up locally, just down the road here in the town nearby. And that's a big event every year. It's like Oktoberfest, a big parade and everything. And we open up the Veterans Organization, the public can come in. And so one of the older guys said, hey, they were banned years ago. Her husband passed away a long time ago. Can they come in as a guest with someone? And we said, yeah, it's not going to be a problem. And then the other guy said, the two of us, not me, those two on my left and right, we're probably the only ones that are still alive from when they got banned. It's been that long ago. Enjoy positive vibes. Yeah. What did Legal Alien say? Yep, and on top of it all, send the money to help them get by. Okay. Jean Coates, what's up with you, man? Where did Dogzilla go? He's been quiet. I thought he was here. American stock up in toilet paper. Well, given the crap we deal with, you'd understand why. All right, so we do have a little bit of news to talk about tonight, folks. Let's get to that. All righty, come on. Letitia James, New York's shameful Attorney General. Yes, she has been indicted for mortgage fraud by the Attorney General. New York Attorney General Letitia James was indicted Thursday in Alexandria, Virginia, as President Donald Trump's Justice Department continues to pursue charges against his political opponents. No, that's not true. Not true. He continues to pursue charges against criminals or criminally accused. James has been under investigation since May in over a 2023 mortgage she took out to help her niece buy a home in Norfolk. The charges come as Trump continues to call for his enemies to be prosecuted in court. Former FBI Director James Comey pled not guilty Wednesday, despite the fact that he violated the FISA law of making a false statement in congressional proceeding. The Justice Department has also opened an investigation into former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton, who stole classified information, and California Democratic Senator Adam Schiff, who misled the public. I don't know what the charge is going to be for him. He lied out of his mouth. James' relationship with Trump has been adversarial for years. She campaigned on a promise that she would investigate Trump and ultimately won a civil fraud case against him, which is a fraudulent verdict. His adult sons and his real estate empire. A judge found them liable for fraud for inflating the value of their properties and ordered Trump to pay $355 million in penalties. During the 11-week trial, Trump's anger towards... By the way, the $355 million penalty that was awarded against Trump, who exactly is that for? It's a civil case and it's supposed to be restitution. There's no aggrieved party. Deutsche Bank made the loan. Deutsche Bank testified, and it sounded like they were a defense witness. They were a state witness, saying that the Trump organization did nothing wrong. They followed standard real estate practices, and the court ignored their testimony. The Trump administration made the loan. They made the payments on time. They paid the entire loan back. Deutsche Bank made money. That loan didn't preclude anyone else from getting a loan from Deutsche Bank. This is all fraudulent. Who's the $355 million for? It's meant to punish Trump because he's a political opponent. Yet CNN won't admit Letitia James, who they just said ran only to go after Trump, did it purely for political purposes to get Trump. And then they accuse Trump of going after his enemies. These people are just evil and lie. Anyway, mortgage fraud investigation. The investigation focused on mortgage obtained in 2023 for a property in Norfolk. Her attorneys provided a document to Justice Department in April to push back what they call threadbare allegations. They said one document in the mortgage application mistakenly said the property would be James' primary residence, but they submitted other documents to argue that there was no fraud. So why did she claim it was her primary residence when she lives in New York? She doesn't live in Virginia. And it was for her niece. Talk about fraudulent. In one document, she writes an email to her loan originator, "This property will not be my primary residence." She also checked the box in another document indicating the property would not be her primary residence. So why did she lie to get the loan in the first place? Yes, legal alien. Many people refuse to see that it was just cooked up nonsense. Delbury, I can use as long as I want, but then I won't be able to get Windows 11. So what do I do? She's trying to get a home loan for her niece. Yes, and she claimed it was her primary residence to get a preferential loan rate for her niece, according to the press. But CNN can't see that. They won't admit the truth. I didn't give you that story. That's what the media said. Dogzilla is still here. Israel has approved the Gaza ceasefire. Jubilation in Gaza. Israel's approved the Gaza ceasefire and hostage release program, Prime Minister Netanyahu's office said in a statement. He calls it a momentous development and thanks President Trump as well as U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, who both attended the Israeli cabinet meeting. Trump says Israeli hostages could be released on Monday or Tuesday, as well as a ceasefire and hostages. The first phase of an agreement would also see Israel release hundreds of Palestinian terrorists, Israeli troops beginning to withdraw from parts of Gaza, and hundreds of trucks of aid entering Gaza. As music blares in the streets of Jerusalem, our correspondent summarizes what happens next. There you go. Roughly 24 hours to see major diplomatic progress and widespread jubilation as Hamas and Israel agreed to Trump's plan for a ceasefire and release of hostages. A scrawled note and a whisper were the first signs of new developments in resolving the conflict. Secretary of State Marco Rubio delivered both to Trump at 23:45 British Standard Time on Wednesday. The president told reporters the note had informed him we are very close to a deal. Just before midnight, British time, the announcement that Israel and Hamas had both signed off on the first phase of peace plan came from Trump's Truth Social. This plan included a swap of hostages and bodies, a ceasefire in Gaza for Israeli troops withdrawal from Gaza, and aid to be delivered. Photos of joy in Gaza's rubble-strewn streets and Israel's hostages square soon spread online though many questions remained about the implementation of Trump's plan. On Thursday, Israel's cabinet, or the Knesset, that's not Israel's cabinet, the Knesset is its parliament. These people are idiots. Seriously? The British Broadcasting Corporation, which created the Palestine Mandate, doesn't know that the Knesset is the parliament. They call it the Israel's cabinet. No. Either Knesset met or the cabinet met. I think it was the Knesset. And confirmed it approved the hostage release. There you go. Cool. No, Trump was not found guilty of fraud. That's being overturned. And the excessive bail was a violation of the Constitution. The judge should be charged with a crime. He violated the Constitution with excessive bail in that case, the Alvin Bragg case. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, now that judge should be jailed for his crimes. You saw Ponte coming on the train. You knew you were almost in Joburg. You stand a friend's house. Okay. It's good news. Just hope they keep the promises made. Agreed. I want to see the investigation into Ilhan Omar. Yeah, how she got a green card. Yep, and how she ended up with a net worth of $30 million. Exactly. Anna Kruger, I can't understand that. She is looking for attention. She is making us all look like crap. Sometimes please know that her time will come. Who, Anna? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Anna? Case against Trump and his work only got dropped when he got reelected. Yeah, that's a different case, Dogzilla. It's another trumped-up case. Yep. Well, what does it matter if he's reelected? Because he has immunity. That's why. The only thing you can do to go after a sitting president is to have a trumped-up political trial called an impeachment. They have immunity while serving. Judge blocks Trump's deployment of the National Guard in Chicago. Another idiot judge who doesn't understand the Constitution or the War Powers Act. President Trump is temporarily barred from sending National Guard to Illinois to aid immigration crackdown. Understand Congress. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. It's time for us Americans to band together and form our own guard and go to Chicago and work on behalf of the federal government for free. Well, China is playing the spiteful game, cracking down on export of rare earths after it controls most of the market, expanding rare earth restrictions, targeting defense and chip users. China dramatically expanded its rare earth export controls on Thursday, adding 5 new elements and extra scrutiny for semiconductors users in Beijing, as Beijing tightens control over the sector ahead of talks between Trump and Xi Jinping. The world's largest rare earth producer also added dozens of pieces of refining technology to its control list and announced rules that require compliance from foreign rare earth producers who use Chinese materials. Wow. I say screw China. Cut them off at the knees. Stop the flow of oil and they will collapse. Quit sending them food and they'll starve to death. Yep. 11-year-old Waldo has passed away. This story was related today, reported by the Springs Advertiser. Family shared the news of Waldo's passing and asked for privacy. 11-year-old Waldo Ferve, who was shot during a home robbery, which doesn't appear to have been the case, has passed away. He'd been on life support at the Charlotte McKesson-Joburg Academic Hospital after being shot in the head. He sustained a gunshot wound to the head and was treated on the scene before being airlifted to the hospital in critical condition. It is with profound sadness that the family confirms 11-year-old Waldo has gained his angel wings. The family wishes to express their heartfelt gratitude to everyone who supported Waldo during his fight for life, to the medical teams, emergency responders, community members, and all who offered prayers, care, and compassion. At this time, the family kindly requests privacy as they mourn the loss of their beloved boy. Further information and funeral arrangements will be communicated in due course. Shot in the head. Who murders an 11-year-old child? What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? And here it is on Marola Media. Who cares about that tiny mortgage? I do. I do, Dogzilla, because unlike Trump's loan from Deutsche Bank, a foreign bank, and a real estate loan, which denied nobody, Letitia James cheating other people out of preferential mortgage rates by lying. Banks only give so many preferential rates away. But Letitia James and several other of these scumbags that got after Trump have tried to scam the mortgage market. Yep. Who cares? Rational people care, Dogzilla. We all care. We care about the criminal conduct of these scumbags. Absolutely. Positively. Yep. That's the story, folks. That is the story. So let me check on something here very quickly. 2025. February, April. Boy, I did a lot of videos at the War College back in April. Huh. Where are my pictures at? They're not here. That's interesting. Maybe they're here. Nope, they're not there. I would have thought they were here. That's interesting. That's a little bit scary. Oh, I know they're on a backup drive. That's where they're at. They're on a backup drive. Okay. That's a little disturbing. I keep track of this. Huh. That's not entirely true, Philip Holtz. They do. They Reva Steenkamp, they covered that story extensively. They do report on farm murders. In fact, they over-sensationalize some of the farm murders to then use it as a cudgel against conservatives, claiming that there's some sort of genocide when it's the media doing it. Yep. Philip, generally they don't report murders in general. I mean, you can't blame the media in some respects. I mean, 86 murders a day. Who could stomach that in all the press? You're supposed to carry 85 to 100 stories about murders in South Africa's newspapers every day. It's crazy. Anthony Michael Wolf-Funsfield. Okay, have a good day. I take it that means you're leaving. I'd love to see an investigation into Ilhan Omar as well. So tomorrow's Friday, folks. Steamed crabs. Eight oysters. Steamed crabs tomorrow. So, cool beans. Yep. Yep. All right. So, For those who watched my video earlier, it was in response to several things that came my way the past couple of days. It just becomes nauseating at some point. Odin's Vikings today is Friday. Well, for you, not for me, Odin's Vikings. That time matches my computer, 23:57. 3 more minutes before it's Friday. Yep. So, Utopi, should I upgrade to Windows 11? Should I do that? I trust your judgment. Do you still have my song, which you say will be good at Oktoberfest? It's called Ons Prachtgeland. Let me see if I can find that. No, I haven't deleted anything from you. So let's see what I've got from you. Enough is enough. Okay. Okay. Knock it off. That one's one. Well, you say Ons Prachtgeland, but there's no song here for Ons Prachtgeland. It's a picture for it. So you must have sent it to me ahead of time. There it is. There it is. Ons Prachtgeland. Okay. Did we play this before? Okay, nothing's happening. Oh yeah, Oktoberfest. Oompa music.
Ons land, Suid-Afrika, so vol van kleur en krag. Die son het geskyn, die berge trots en sak. Maar nou is ons verlore, ons hart is swaar en seer. Ons verlaat die grond, maar dra dit altyd mee. Kom, o Suid-Afrika, jou skoonheid bly in ons. Ons is so jammer, pragtige land, ons laat jou nou agter ons. Maar in Amerika se arms, waar hoop ons groet, hou ons koppe en geloof hoog, met liefde wat nooit verdoof. So ver waar die oog kan sien, stories en mense bly diep in ons bloed.
What are you talking about, Arctic? I only allow one show to complain at Windows 11. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? So this doesn't let me download it. That's weird. It says download, but then it opens a new window. And then I can't download it. That's strange. Oh, there it is. It did download. My bad. It downloads. Ons Prachtgeland. Ah, shoot. I closed that damn window. I didn't mean to close that window. Damn it. Damn it. Ah. Kathy. Okay. And then you had Enough is Enough. Bilingual. Thank you, Donkey. Okay, what's that one? Okay. Oh, did I play? I played that before. Thank you, Colonel. Yeah, that one I played before. Okay. Another day has come and gone. Kathy, I didn't know we had that many grandchildren. Good Lord. You know, when I use that phrase from the group in Cape Town, and it says, somebody mentioned me in Benoni today. That actually is true. Every day somebody mentions me in Benoni. Yeah, okay, there was a couple more here. Ons moet jou verlaat. It's that one.
Ons land, Suid-Afrika, so vol van kleur en krag. Die son het geskyn, die berge trots en sag.
It's okay. Not my cup of tea. Kom saam met jou hartseer. Oh, okay, that might be promising.
Ons land, Suid-Afrika,
I like it.
so vol van kleur en
Reminds
krag.
me of Tunes Jordan.
Die son het geskyn, die berge trots en sag.
Maar nou is ons verlore, ons harte swaar en seer.
Ons verlaat die grond, maar dra dit altyd mee.
I like this one, Gabby.
Suid-Afrika, jou skoonheid bly in ons.
I like this one, Gabby.
Ons is 'n jammer pragtige land. Ons moet jou verlaat. Maar in Amerika se arms waar hoop ons groet, hou ons koppe en geloof. Hoog met liefde wat nooit verdoof.
So ver waar die oog kan sien, stories en mense bly diep in ons bloed.
Ons nasie met drome wat ons deel, sal saam soek vir nuwe paaie met trane en gebede heel.
I'll see an email from
Jou
Angelique.
skoonheid bly in ons. Ons is 'n jammer pragtige land. Ons moet jou verlaat.
Anything from you,
Maar
actually.
in Amerika se arms waar hoop ons groet, hou ons koppe en geloof. Hoog met liefde wat nooit verdoof.
Ons land, Suid-Afrika, is nou so donker en stil.
Die son sal eendag weer skyn, maar vandag moet ons wag. Ons harte is swaar en baie, baie seer. Jou tuiste is waar jou hart is.
Dankie, kolonial Chris. Jy is gestuur.
Ah, that's nice.
Kom kuier gerus.
Jy sal altyd welkom wees om saam te braai.
Sing en lag,
Die pad is lank, ons weet jy sal saam stap. Ons huil vandag, maar môre is nog 'n dag om weer lekker te kan lag.
that's pretty cool. Thank you for that one, Kathy. We didn't play that before because I just downloaded it for the first time. Cool. It's pretty cool. Emotional this morning, says Francis. Why are you emotional? Hang in there. Love the words. Just logged in. Thanks. But that was Kathy Price, Alan. She also put the ode, the Colonel's Ode. That's one she did. That one's really cool. Colonel's Ode. I like that one. Yep. They're great when you can download the lyric, or you can download the video, because the video puts the lyrics up there so people can see the lyrics on the screen. But apparently that one wouldn't download with the lyrics. I don't know why. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Thank you so much for that. Boy, folks, it is 42 degrees outside, and I'm in heaven. It's chill. Fall season is here. Hormones. Okay. Well, Francis, hang in there. Don't let that get you down. Jules has got a broken heart. Don't be sad, Jules. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. New Linux is made to perform more like Windows to make the transition from Windows easier. There's a guy on YouTube sometimes pops up something like Brax. But you've always been able to buy a GUI, graphical user interface, or get it. You don't have to buy it necessarily. You could always get a Linux GUI that resembled Windows. It could emulate it. That's always been a possibility. Years ago, IBM purchased Red Hat. Red Hat had its own version of Linux, which was very popular, and then IBM incorporated. I don't know what they sell it as now. Yeah, Linux is based off of Unix. So Unix goes back 45 years, man. It's old. It's old. That's why people just rave about Linux. Linux isn't. It's hived off of Unix, man. Take our culture to the U.S. and it will be a blend, very much like South Africa. Very proud people. You could have been a Boriki. Some people say I am. That song can be added to Spotify if she has an account, but having a Spotify account is not so easy. I have a Spotify account. I remember COBOL, BASIC. C plus came later. C++. Yeah. Fortran. My goodness. Fortran. Wow, man. Showing our age here, folks. All I know is that Sharif don't like it. Rock the Casmo. I saw your message about updating Windows. Personal preference. Windows 10 will stop support earlier today. Up to you. I'm thinking, Utopi, maybe the right answer here is not to put it on it because my computer works fine. I'm not concerned about security updates. And I've already had this computer since 2021. 21, 22, 23, 24. This is 25. Almost 5 years I've got by with this gaming machine. If the revenue ever picks up on the channel again, which it's not right now, if the revenue ever picks up like it did once before, then maybe I'll build a new gaming machine with more capability. And then I'll just stay with this Windows 10 and that'll of course be Windows 11. So what do you think, Utopia? Why mess with something that's working, you know? Well, there's a difference. I don't like the way that it handles Explorer. I don't like the way that it handles programs. The stupid thing in the center, and they always have to dick with the interface. Yeah. No, because it's free, and then later on it won't be free, and then if something happens, I'll be stuck. So anyway, I'm not happy with it, Utopia. Windows 10 is not my favorite. I'm not happy with it. Windows 11 sucks. Well, I use it on my laptop, and I'm not a big fan. So. Okay, so I'm going to read some reviews on Windows 11 and see. Watch, I'll update and then nothing works. You guys see, I told you not to update. So I wrote the original Linux. I saw that. I saw you put that, Dogzilla. Assembler to be faster. Yeah, Utopia thinks it's a good idea. I think so too. Look, this computer is 4.5 years old. This is. I have PCs that are 15 years old that I still have and I fire up occasionally. This has been the most heavily used, the most reliable PC I've ever had. I had some problems with it because the people at iBuyPower aren't very good about assembling computers, which is a big disappointment. But the components I got were pretty well put together and they're good prices. Only got my first laptop in about 2004. They only taught us what we needed to know. I have been using computers since the 1970s as a child. I used to take IBM data punch cards, and those are the ones that had all the instructions, punch holes in it. They're longer about this long, so about this from there to here. And you feed stacks of them in. That was how you fed instructions into the computer, and it did what you told it to do. It's not a relic, Arctic. You're a relic. Loretta likes Windows 11. Okay. And then I used Commodore in high school. We had a computer lab that was put in when I was a junior in high school, and I had lots of study halls, so I went there. And you had to load the operating system with a cassette tape. You put the cassette tape in, you load it, and I used to play Santa Bravia. I love Santa Bravia. Yep, did a little programming in BASIC back then. Yeah. And then after that, my first computer that I ever bought was an IBM PS2 with no hard drive. I had to load the operating system with a 3.5-inch floppy in order to use the computer. And it used to make all the sounds, crunching sounds, even though having a hard drive was weird. I think it was an emulator. Anyway, yeah, so IBM PS2, it had space for 2 hard drives, but came with none. And it was awesome. I loved it. I used to play Balance of Power on there and use software to write my papers and stuff like that for college. Yeah. Liver, on the other hand, could do with a serious upgrade. And I didn't use a Commodore 64. I used a Commodore CBM and PET. Commodore CBM stood for Commodore Business Machine, and PET was Personal Electronics Transfer, if I remember correctly. Yep. Yeah, not in a Commodore 64. No, that was different. Yeah, and then after that, the next one I bought was an AST. I had an AST PC. Wow, that was a long time ago. Yeah, did I have a compact at one time? I don't think I ever had a compact. AST. Then I started dabbling in the early 90s and building my own PCs. I bought motherboards and cases and power supplies and RAM and hard drives, and I built my own computers. Back when you had to switch the jumpers, oh gosh, there was no plug and play. It was so stupid, so annoying. You had to physically change things, and there were limitations on hard drives. I remember my first hard drive in that PS2. I ordered it from Hard Drives International in Tempe, Arizona, in 1989, and for 20 megabytes, I paid $319. Windows could not recognize 20 megabytes. 10 megabytes was the upper limit for Windows, so I had to divide and partition that one physical hard drive into 2 hard drives. Oh, man. Such a money-making scheme. I'm out of the computer know-how scene. Anything better than Windows 7. Laptop died during my studies this year and left in the lurch. Yeah, well, I do know the ancestral language of the semaphore, and I know how to use a sextant and a compass. Actually, that's not true. I don't know how to use a sextant. I'm just falsely claiming that. Yes, and I can navigate by the stars. I don't need a GPS. I don't need Windows. I don't need Google Maps. Exactly. Master of slave jumpers on the back of the hard drive. Exactly right, Alan. Remember that? How frustrating that was. Yes. COBOL jobs in the States, really? You don't need to type with those punch machines. Well, I use IBM Selectric. That was the major upgrade in typewriters, man. I use manual typewriters. One of the worst things that ever irritated me is I had a manual typewriter stolen from me after I left college. It wasn't in my house of goods. The Packers stole it, and I got money from the insurance company for it, but I never got another manual typewriter, and I loved a manual typewriter. Shame you never learned how to get Wi-Fi on the road. I know how to get Wi-Fi on the road, Arctic, but you can't be in the middle of nowhere where there's no Wi-Fi. So I use a compass in my work. Well, compasses are great until magnetic north switches to the southern pole, which happens so many thousands or millions of years, 100,000 years. Now I have 2 terabyte SD cards. Yeah, no, I've got 4 terabyte ones. Yep. I've got 4 terabyte solid state drives. This is a one that I plug into my drive right now, and I'm using it. So that's 4 terabytes plugged into my CD. That's going through a USB to the USB-C, USB 2, whatever. Starlink. Starlink is not Wi-Fi. Starlink is not Wi-Fi. Starlink is an overpriced satellite-based system intended to make Elon Musk even wealthier. Dip switches and motherboards, yeah, they were a nightmare too. Yeah, and then you had to do the same thing with little things on there. It was crazy. So frustrating. Benny, just tune in and see what happened to Fort Hare. Yes. Yep. I covered that. Is it burnt to the ground again today? One day after it's announced that there's some irregularities going down. Yep. Yeah. South Africa is spiraling into oblivion. Guys, it's now Friday here on the East Coast of the United States. We've joined the rest of the world that's east of us. Oh, yeah, dot matrix printers, yep. With the perforated paper on the side. Oh. Many stuck Windows 7 for years after the others came out. I'm concerned. Reference Windows. We'll wait and hear what I have to say about it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to go on here. I didn't like Windows 7. I liked Windows 98. That was one of the better systems, yeah. Arctic says he won't watch me at Starlink anymore. First job at South African Airways, we ran backups on stacked spindle storage. Wow. One or two. Well, they're designed for that, Karen. They're small, and they have a shelf life. And when the shelf life expires, they deorbit them and let them, burn up on reentry. Used to nail people at SARS that said, but my GPS took me there. That's why. Yeah. I use GPS mostly because it's great to keep track of the distance you got to go. Also, it warns you of, traffic jams ahead and delays and stuff like that, which is nice. I can't get that from reading a map. I mean, I can figure out how to get there from reading a map, but I can't get there. I mean, I don't know that information. Yep. Remember our screens were green? Remember that on PCs? Or they were black and white? Arctic, I've never watched an Asian cooking show, so I wouldn't know. And in Windows 98, there was no streaming video that was where there's two systems didn't have that kind of memory storage. Couldn't do that. It's crazy. That's so long ago. But I liked Windows 98. Windows 95 sucked. My first Windows 95 PC, I drove to South Dakota. And on my way back from Minnesota, I went to South Dakota before I went home to Iowa. And I went to Gateway, to the factory outlet. And I bought a machine from Gateway. And I had all kinds of problems with it. I fixed the problems because I knew what I was doing, but out of the box, I had lots of problems. It was a huge box and a big, what seemed like a big screen, but it's tiny compared to this one, but it took up so much space because it was deep. They weren't LCD screens. They were still cathode ray tubes. Man. Anyway, but Gateway. Once I fixed the computer, I was pretty happy with it. Windows 95 never impressed me. Then my first Windows 98 was actually a laptop. I bought a Dell laptop. I'll never buy another Dell product. It was crap. Cost me over $2,000 back in 1998 when I didn't make much money at all. But I took it out of my savings and I bought it from Dell because they were supposed to be a good brand, and it was a piece of shit. It was total crap. They installed it with a faulty video driver. The video driver didn't even work for the video card. It took me ages to figure out how to get in there and download it and install the damn video card and get it to work. Not video card, install the video driver, the correct one. But from the factory, they installed the wrong. So that meant to me they never did any quality testing on it. They didn't even run the damn thing. They just put it together and sent it out. So I'll never trust Dell again. It's the last Dell product I ever had. I also have a 19-inch laptop. I still have it. The thing weighs like 40 freaking pounds, 30 kilos. I'm embellishing, but it's huge. I used to carry that around on travel. Maybe that's why my hips messed up. Yeah, I still have that laptop. It's massive. Yeah, it's pretty cool. That was an HP. I think it was awesome for gaming. That one has Windows Vista on it, I think. Yep. I never got paid to test Windows. Like most guinea pigs around the planet, I was forced to use their garbage software and become their testers for it. ZX Spectrum, 64 megabytes, state of the art then. 1960 born baby boomers generation have experienced more than... You are right about that, Del Marie. We have gone from telephone booths to Starlink. We have gone from 8-tracks to cassettes to Walkmans to CDs to Blu-ray to MP3 to iPhones. Yep. Crazy stuff. Started my 286, the lights dimmed. Oh, that's crazy. I never had a 286. I had processors before that, and then I went to a 386 and a 486, and then a Pentium. 286, the first only DOS. I had DOS. I had Dr. DOS on one of my computers at one point. I've used so many computers. That's why this thing here, which is still cooking after 4.5 years. Well, actually, it's coming up on 5 years. I got it February. So what are we, 6 months away from February? It's October, November, December, January, February. 4 months away. Almost 5 years I've been using this computer. Yep. Well, Windows has been released since 1980, 81, something like that. Windows has been around that long. No, yeah. DOS was already there. They bought it for $50,000, monkeyed with it, hoodwinked IBM executives who were stupid enough to go to a hotel in Florida to see the presentation into adopting it and became the default system for IBM, compatible DOS and then Windows. Yeah. Of course, funds the dial-up. I used 1200 baud dial-up modems with down to 300 up to 1200. Then, of course, you had to fit the 56K. You had the 14.4, the 28.8, then the 56K. Yeah, of course, I used all those. Yeah. Yep. So when or if you change, take a few days off. We don't want to hear you whining. Oh, Kathy. Yeah, you're going to be silenced. Windows build is on a 486 architecture. Maybe that's because so many people are still, there are 40 million people still using AOL email addresses. Did you know that? I think 40 or 36 million, something like that. Oh, both you, Kathy, and Artie can both, go sit in the corner. Yeah, well, download would fail just before. Yep. Screw Microsoft Windows 11. I don't even know if it'll let me do that. Windows 11 works fine, and the upgrade is easy. Yeah, Conrad, it works fine on my laptop, but I don't like the interface. I don't like the interface. I don't like it. Maybe you can tailor it. I haven't tried. I've had my laptop. Remember, I bought my laptop immediately after Trump won the election in November because I knew tariffs were coming, and I didn't want to pay twice the price for my laptop. Many of the components made in Asia, Taiwan, China. So I bought my laptop, and I got an awesome laptop to replace the one that was sucky, and I paid almost nothing for it. I mean, the laptop I have, the processing capability has, I used that to broadcast when I was overseas. It's not the best camera or audio capability, but I used it quite a bit. A few weeks ago, I had to work on a component that used serial port, hyperlink, and Windows XP. Windows XP was okay. Too scared to make a song about YouTube, then he will be kicked off again. No, I haven't even tried it. I haven't even thought about making a song about YouTube. Yes, you can customize the interface. Okay, well, I don't like the interface that comes up on it by default. It's crap. Install the Y2K. Yeah, I remember the Y2K scam. Actually, it wasn't a scam. It was going to be a real problem, but people freaked out over it. Never forget that. The Y2K. Yeah. Wait till Elon Musk perfects his Neuralink. Not getting one, folks. Not getting one. Okay, well, we're coming up on 1.5 hours. Hey, Lee and McCaskill just popping in to say, how's it? And thank you for everything. You're very welcome, Leanne. It's fine. How are you? Oh, you can put classic mode. Okay, I didn't know that. I'm sure it's capable, but I haven't had time to play with the laptop. I'm so busy. I mean, I just now today looked at my damn referral and I had to go back to 1 July and then realized I had an appointment on 30 October, which I didn't realize. Phoenix says someone's too young for this conversation. Yeah, some of you are too young for this. Answer phones, as they call it in the UK, answering machines. Change the cassette, 8 tracks. Oh my gosh, 8 tracks. Can you believe they actually use those things? LPs, bell bottoms, Elvis collars, tie-dye, psychedelic. Man, oh man, oh man. Rotary dial, 1 ringy-dingy, 2 ringy-dingy, 3 ringy-dingy. Oh my God, I hated rotary dial because it hurts your finger because they were so tight half the time. Dig Dug. I remember Dig Dug. Oh my goodness! But from a gaming, an actual arcade game, Dig Dug. Dig Dug was fun. I never liked Frogger. Galaga I loved, yeah, and I loved Asteroids. I was good at Asteroids. Price drop on Teslas. No thanks. Telex machines, mimeographs to do reproduction for tests and stuff like that with that ink smell. Oof. First computer's program was IBM System 370. Oh, yeah, that's a long time ago. But the 370 is a mainframe, wasn't it, expat? Scammers on WhatsApp contracting people telling that there are refugee applications denied. Caught the bugger. What? Was it the guy that was that made the video lied about me who came to my meet and greet, or is it somebody else? Please, Anthea, tell us more about that. Who got caught? VHS, yeah. Betamax. Yeah, remember Wise PCs? WYSE? Yeah. Nomet, alsjeblieft. Yeah, no, don't believe Hollywood, man. The nuclear silos don't use floppy disk. They do use keys, though. Physical keys. Asteroids was awesome, yeah. I used to play Pong. Boop, 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 boop. Mimeographs, yeah, you cranked it up and the paper fed through and had that blue, really smelly ink. Yep, mimeograph, we call that, yep. Overhead projectors. I still have an overhead projector somewhere in the house, in the basement. Overhead projector, yep. Loretta has to go. Okay, sorry to see you go. I'm waiting for a response back from Anthea because I'm curious about that catch and that bugger. I'd love to talk about that story. Pencils, pencil sharpeners. Remember the pencils that you put the lead in? They were, the mechanical pencils, and you put the lead in there. Wow. Rubbers, as the Anglophone world would say. We'd say erasers. Yep. They caught him though, Anthea. Okay, I remember, but okay, you're coming out of the blue with this story. Your email to me was like weeks ago, if that's the one I'm thinking of. So, but you emailed me that he got caught. I missed that. Let me just go look for it. Okay. Yeah, you told me. Sorry. You told me. Oh, you told me yesterday that you had a lawyer look into it, but they caught the guy. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yo-yos, yeah. Dunkin' yo-yos. Dude, he used to use Dunkin' yo-yos, yep. Yep. Jade Clarkson, hello to you. Dogzilla, Pet Rock. I remember Pet Rocks, yep. Actually, I had dreams not too long ago about trying to get the dial to dial properly. It is strange, Kathy. It is a strange dream. Hasiki, welcome to you. Yeah, that smell of those things, it's still vivid in my head. Okay, what's this? Blackview, Amazon.com. That link is not working on either option here. Let's see what it says. You sure that's a good link? It's taking a long time to load. I don't think that's a good link from Amazon. No, it's not Amazon. It takes you to some third-party site. Well, you say Pet Rock for kids. Most people have Pet Rocks for adults. That link doesn't work at all. It's just connecting to m.media-amazon. I think I'm going to close that link. I don't know what you're trying to send me there. 35 Rand. Super chat. Thank you for that, but I don't know what that's supposed to be. What is a Pet Rock? Well, I'll show you. Pet Rock. That's not good. So here's what it looked like. So you would buy this thing, and it was a rock. Someone made a fortune off this. There you go. Everywhere Pet, the Pet Rock. Care and training of your pet rock. Pet Rock. It was a collectible toy made in 1975 by advertising executive Gary Dahl. They are rocks packaged in custom cardboard boxes complete with ventilation holes and straw bedding imitating a pet carrier. He came up with the idea in a bar while listening to his friends complain about their pets. This gave him the idea for the perfect pet, a rock. A rock would not need to be fed, walked, bathed, or groomed, and it would not die, become sick, or disobedient. Dahl said that they were to be perfect pets and joked about it with his friends before producing pet rocks as toys in 1975. Lacking the capital to launch the product, he convinced some colleagues to invest in it. He purchased the actual rocks from Mexican beaches for less than a penny each. The pet rock was introduced in August 1975 at the San Francisco trade show, and Dahl was swarmed by orders from retailers. The fad lasted about 6 months, ending after a short increase in sales during the Christmas season. Although by February 76, they were discontinued due to lower sales, he sold 1.5 million pet rocks for just under $4 each during the initial release, turning 95 cents profit on each unit. Wow, and became a millionaire. In 2022, the toy company Super Impulse purchased the rights to the pet rock, reviving the brand. In the 2020s, pet rocks grew popularity in South Korea as tools for meditation and for venting out frustration. Members of K-pop groups such as 17 and Emphin post about their pet rocks online. It's had a lasting impact on popular culture. The character Zoe from Sesame Street owns a pet rock. In the Minions film The Rise of Gru, the character Otto acquires a pet rock. Yep. Pet rock. It was another, just like these other stupid freaking fads, the fidget spinner. This is the dumbest fad ever, the fidget spinner. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Anyway, the guy who introduced the pet rock became a millionaire from it. Yep. TV box can go make dinner. By the time I was done, the picture appeared. Already done. They reported him. CWS, the fraud they're investigating. Good. Meaning from, I was one of the first women in South Africa allowed to program in a Sembo language. First had to be an operator. Okay. It's too funny. Yeah, Phoenix, it's a true story. Remember tape recorders? Yeah. I still have tape recorders. I have little micro cassette recorders. Yep. Kids blaming the pet rock for the broken window. Yep. Also spoiled for choice. For sure. Grew up free. Pet rocks. Had one from Canoes. Huge shoes. Hi, how are you, Wendy? Your intro is amazing. Thank you. Hoping Cyril and his friends see it because they, yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Now I'm thinking of my brand new Motorola cell phone and the extended battery. My first cell phone was in 1995. It was a Motorola. It was a big one, gray, and you had to pull the antenna up, the plastic antenna, and you pulled down the talk piece. You opened it up like this, like a freaking communicator on Star Trek. The battery would typically last for 6 hours if I was lucky, and it was a huge battery, just poor design. And then my call zone was only like 5 kilometers wide one way, and then about 20 kilometers the other way. But I didn't know anybody in the 20 kilometers, so it cost me $35 a month back then. And that was with a discount because I was active duty military. Yeah, it sounds like a brick. Yeah, it was like a brick. All right, so my chat is way behind over here. I don't know why. Oh, it's frozen. That's why. Look at that. I hate when it does that. YouTube. Man, what is your problem? It doesn't like Firefox. Nokia 3210. That was a good phone. That was a good phone. Alrighty. Come on. Alright. We're there. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's the one. Yep. I still have some of those. I have an old not Motorola, an old Nokia, little tiny silver one. Can't remember the number of that. I've got a few of those. I have some old technology in the basement. I never got rid of it. I could actually start a technology museum with some of the stuff. I have a record player. Still do. I still have my Pioneer CS605 speakers. Let me find those. Let me see what they look like. Pioneer, P-I-O-N-E, CS605 speakers. There you go. There they are. Radio Museum. They're in the Radio Museum. Ah, that's funny. My speakers are the Radio Museum. 50 old vintage speakers would be much of an upgrade or so. Okay, so let me see. Oh, that's not working out. Okay, let's do this. There you go. So it's hard to tell, but these things are huge. They come up over my knee. So there they are, and they're on the right. And they have that cover on top of them. They're freaking awesome, man. Great speakers. There you go. These things are huge. There you go. That's a better view. Two of them stacked on top of each other. Vintage 80s ribbon tweeters. Anyway, yeah, wow. Pioneer CS605. Still got them, man. Great speakers. They're fantastic. Yep. Someone did a restoration of one here. Oh, man. Life. It's fascinating. Fascinating. My goodness. Wow, what a world we live in. Things changing all the time. Mom's amplifier is a Fisher. I had a Fisher amp as well. Yep. Yep. I forget what happened to that one. There was a problem with it, and then I fixed it. Fidelity speakers, yeah. 4 record players, Technic, system, and storage, but I don't know if they survived the move. Ah, card, okay. Video recorder ones, big roll on the side. Yep. All right, guys, it's that time. We're past an hour and a half, and I need to hit the rack and get some sleep. Got rugby tomorrow, Stormers and Scarlets. That'll be on late in the evening. Well, not tomorrow, today for South Africans. I'm going to get to bed, get some rest, and get up. And y'all take care, man. Thanks for being here. Be sure to hit that like button. Haven't quite hit 200 likes. Yes, Anthea, the good old days. I hate to say that, but I mean, you know what? At the time it was going down, I felt it was the good old days. When I listened to Flock of Seagulls, and I ran so far away. I felt like that was the good old days back then. I really did. Yep, I really did. So, anyway. Alrighty, everybody. Have a good night. Appreciate you being here. Oh, give me. Bed is calling. Good night, everybody. See you later today. Cheers. Still here, folks. Still here. Yeah. Yeah, I know the mic's off. I didn't want you to hear what I was saying. I was talking to myself. So I didn't go to bed. Some of you hung around, and you're going to be rewarded. I was looking for a song that a couple people love. I haven't played it in a while, but I like this one. So let's go out with this one. It's got that 80s vibe to it. Synth music, synthesizers.
Suits so tight, rockets blazing through the cosmic night, eyes on the prize in the Martian dust, tiny paws holding interstellar dust, leading the way they leap through the stars. It's the Meerkat's mission to claim stars. It's the meerkat's mission to claim Mars, building homes under crimson skies, a brand new world through their clever